see players with their opener's hands. Joe has 5 lands and a Force of Will and Thopter Foundry. So this is basically a mulligan to 6 because the Force of Will and the Thopter Foundry are one super card that counter any spell. Uh, hmm?
So I'm jumping back in for a little bit of an update on Brett. He Skype said restarting his computer might help, so he's going to do that. So Dave's going to be commentating solo for the first couple minutes.
All right. So Joe's hand looks utterly unkeepable because he doesn't really have any action. He's got a Thopter Foundry and Forcible, and only one of those are going to be useful. I'm guessing he's keeping. He's Joe. Nope, he mulliganed. And Julian kept a hand that has Glimpse of Nature, Green Sun Zenith, a bunch of fetch lands, and a Sylvan Library. So I'm guessing that oh, it looks like Julian won the die roll. I'm guessing that Julian's plan is just landing the Sylvan Library and drawing a ton of cards. Joe has a Chalice for one that he can play on turn 1, but it looks like he's opting to play the Volcanic Island instead. On Julian's second turn, Julian fetches a Dryad Arbor with a Green Sun Zenith, and he's going to land his Sylvan Library now, which is going to be a huge problem for Joe because it's going to provide Julian a never-ending source of card advantage in card selection. He's probably just going to draw 3 on his next draw step, and then get to ponder for every turn for the rest of the game. Joe's going to tap 2 mana for Chalice of the Void on 1. This is very good against Julian. He does have the out of Reclamation Sage to destroy the Chalice, which I'm sure he's looking for. Oh, and he just draws Nettle Sentinel, Wirewood Symbiote, and Green Sun Zenith. He's going to keep both in his hand. That makes sense. And he's going to Green Sun Zenith for 3 for the Reclamation Sage, and praying that Joe doesn't have a Daze or Forcible. Yes, I know Joe isn't actually playing Daze, but I don't know. If I see, well, I don't know, a deck that goes Volcanic Island, Underground Sea, Chalice will run, I guess I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Joe, as we can see, does not have the Forcible, and that Chalice is going to be taken down. Turn 3 here, Joe's going to cast a Baleful Strix. Ooh, he draws another Chalice of the Void. That's actually huge. Now it's going to be difficult for Julian to get rid of the second Chalice of the Void because his Reclamation Sage is already on the table. But he can if he can find a Green Sun Zenith, he can cast the Green Sun Zenith to get a Wirewood Symbiote, pick up his Reclamation Sage, and then cast it again. I don't know if he has enough mana to do that. Yeah, he should have enough mana to do that. But he does need to find the Green Sun Zenith. The 3 spells in his hand right now are locked out, and so is that Nettle, Sentinel, and Glimpse of Nature that he just drew. He's probably going to shuffle those away, put them back on top of the library from the Sylvan Library trigger, and then crack a fetch land in order to see 3 new cards. Interesting that he actually didn't keep the Cradle. So he's attacking. Whoa! He's attacking with. Okay. Attacking with Reclamation Sage would have really surprised me there, because if he loses the Reclamation Sage, he's just cold to the Chalice of the Void. He's never going to be able to get it off the table. Oh yes, I forgot. He has a Cavern of Souls. That also gets through Chalice of the Void. So he's able to land a Nettle Sentinel. Okay, Joe's turn. He draws a Baleful Strix. He can land Tezzerator this turn, which would be reasonably good. Start finding more artifacts. The Ensnaring Bridge won't do anything yet, but it will soon. Okay, looks like he is going for the Tezzerator play. He could also make a 5/5 out of the Chalice of the Void. That has some serious blowout potential. Oh, he's making a 5/5 out of the Baleful Strix. Is he just going to go to Racetown here? Wow. So Joe's just using the Tezzeret like a spell to make a 5/5 out of the Baleful Strix. And you know what? I didn't even realize Julian is down to 10 and now he's down to 5 because he spent so much life on the Sylvan Library. So being aggressive here with the Sylvan Library has really cost Julian. And you know what? I think he's just dead now. He doesn't have a spell that he can cast that blocks the Baleful Strix. He's going to take another 5. So Joe going on the aggro plan instead of using his Ensnaring Bridge and just hiding behind the Snaring Bridge, Chalice of the Void, slowly grind out a victory. It looks like he's just going to take down Julian with 2 attacks from a big 5/5 flyer. Alright, so Joe takes game 1. Let's look at the sideboards. Looks like Pithing Needle should definitely come in for Julian. That's the card I'd most expect. Joe might bring in a Grafdigger's Cage. Oh, I couldn't see what the card that was. Just a sec. Can I make this bigger? Oh, I can make this bigger. Okay, Joe brought in a Gruper Ethergrid, a Kolaghan's Command, and the Tabo's Degree that he included in his deck list specifically for Julian. Julian was very upset when he saw the Tabo's Degree in Joe's deck list. Julian's going to take out the Umazaz Jite and some Nail Sentinels and Aquarian Ranger. Just shave some of his numbers. And I assume he's bringing in the Thoughtseizes? I don't know. I'm not actually sure how this matchup plays out. I feel like Thoughtseize might be good because Joe's deck relies so much on Chalice of the Void and the Tezzerets to actually close the game out.
Alright, so...
Oh, Romario. Hey,
yes.
You're not Brett?
No, I'm not Brett. Apparently, was it Brett had some problems with audio?
Yes, he's having some issues. He sounds like I don't even know what he sounds like. And anyways, how do you think this matchup's gonna play out? What do you think Julian should bring in for this?
All right, so I'm just looking at the list now. Wow, I don't see anything like super relevant in Julian's sideboard. I mean, the Abrupticates are good. I think he just cited him. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it, right?
I thought that Thoughtseize might be good just because
This is on the play.
Yeah, well, Julian is on the play. You need to get rid of that Chalice. And also Joe has the Abyss and Saba's Decree, which are cards that you don't necessarily need to see. He doesn't have a lot of removal, so like maybe you can shave some creatures.
Right. Saba's Decree though, like that. I don't know about that one. I guess if he gets to cast, yes, he wins the game. But
yes, it is very expensive. 6 mana is a lot in Legacy. Although Julian is playing a deck that doesn't have Force of Will.
True.
Well, what just happened? It looked like Julian cast something, but the board state isn't updating.
Really?
Okay, according to Mike, Magic Online effed up, and all we can see is a empty board. Oh, we're back to our beautiful faces.
Just looking at us. Oh, hold on a second. Let me fix my camera, I guess. No, I don't know how to do it. All right. And I'm right behind the Legacy Mediocre. Oh, never mind. All right, cool.
Okay, there we go. We're back in the game. Looks like Joe led off with a Wirewood Symbiote, then Sylvan Library, and Joe countered with a Chalice of the Void on 1.
All right.
So Joe needs to get that off the table. The Green Sun Zenith is one way to do it. However, he doesn't have the 4 mana he needs in order to Green Sun Zenith for the Reclamation Sage.
Rec Sage, yeah. So it looks like, I guess Julian's just going to play Scoots here and say go.
Yeah, this is, oh, no. He's Green Sun Zenithing.
Just looking for something.
Probably need... I don't even know. You need something.
Oh, okay, that's right, Sean. That makes sense because that way he'll get closer to the mana to either cast an Abrupt Decay or Green Sun Zenith if he draws another one.
Yeah, I suppose if he can find either one off the Sylvan Library, and the Deathrite Shaman is a way to produce black mana, which he didn't have previously.
Right.
Joe has a turn available to him to cast Tezzeret if he'd like, and I think that's the play. I think you cast Tezzeret in plus.
Yeah.
Especially considering he has so few so few spells in the rest of his hand.
No, this is definitely the turn to cast Tezzeret. And well, let's see if Joe agrees with us.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's a Tezzeret. All right. So he's gonna plus Tezzeret, and
we'll see what he finds.
He was just trying to get closer to his combo. No, he found a Snaring Bridge.
Yeah, he's got Ensnaring Bridge or Grafdigger's Cage. I think here I actually take the Graf. Oh wait,
Oh no, he
sorry,
can't. He can't.
Grafdigger's. Yeah. You're right.
It's a
I
noble.
was about to say Grafdigger's Cage shuts off the Green Sun Zenith for the Reclamation Sage, but then I realized
The
that
Chalice of the
doesn't.
Void also shuts
That's...
down.
um, I don't know if you guys can see this, but we see a Baleful Strix and Snaring Bridge, Dimir Signet, Grafdigger's Cage. So I guess with that realization, I think the pick here is Ensnaring Bridge. Just make sure you don't get Crater Hift.
Yeah, I think Snare Bridge is probably the pick here too. Either Snare Bridge or Signet doesn't really do anything here. He's already got 5 mana. Strix can be just a blocker. I don't know. Is Joe gonna get the? All right, I did get the cage.
Well, let's see if Joe is thinking ahead of us or if he's thinking behind us. He's seen something that we haven't seen, or
Well, it's funny because
just
now Julian found a Green Sun Zenith, so he's actually gonna cast the Rex Sage, and then Joe's gonna cast the cage the next turn.
But that cage is so useless. Joe can pick up the Reclamation Sage with the Wirewood Symbiote and cast it again.
Right, but
This
it's
is
funny how.
this
Well, no.
this is really interesting. Oh, I guess after casting the Scavenging Ooze, he can make 4 mana to get the Reclamation Sage. I'm surprised he wasn't just going for that. Or I forgot that Deathrite could make mana. I'm not sure.
I actually didn't see the line of play either. I mean, I guess that's why Julian plays Elves and I don't.
Yeah, Julian figures the thing about Julian is he's not only a very good player, but he's a very fast player. Like he sees these lines immediately.
That's true.
While I was playing against him, I felt like I was taking 5 minutes per turn, and he like
Just like click, 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 click.
yeah, click. Figures out exactly what to do. I'm used to thinking on other people's turns. Anyway, so Wirewood Symbiote is going to go at Joe here, not at Tezzerator.
Not at Deseret. Wow. Well, let me see. So that's 4, 5, and 6, 7. So he's got 7 damage next turn, possibly. Well, I guess he just feels like he can just swing into Tezzeret next turn. Oh, we found the Abyss.
This is good, but I don't like he can't play. Okay, so he can get the Mox Diamond here and go Baleful Strix Abyss. I think that's the play.
Yeah.
But I was about to say like the Abyss isn't going to slow down Julian enough. He even has to take 2 damage in order to cast the Abyss.
Right. Yeah. The Abyss versus Elves. I guess some corner cases will do something, but in general, I don't think it does enough.
Yeah, this Tezzeret deck just doesn't have a lot of removal, and I think that's the thing. If you're constantly removing their threats, you land Baleful Strix and then the Abyss, a lot of decks just can't handle that. But sorry? Oh yeah, okay. So Mike is alerting me that against Wirewood Symbiote it doesn't really do anything, and that's also true.
Oh, that's right, because Abyss is an old card and it's worded funny.
Yeah, because wait,
you
choose the creature. It's like sacrificing except it's targeted, right?
Yeah, it's a target. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and it's non-artifact creature.
Yeah, I actually have played against this. I was playing a Mother of Runes deck and it targets, so you can actually save the creature with Mother of Runes, giving protection for black from Abyss. Yeah.
First time I noticed that when I was playing against Rug Delver and he had a Mongoose in play, and I thought he was gonna sack it, and then no, you can't.
So I think Julian's just going to have the Abyss target Reclamation Sage, and Wirewood Symbiote is going to pick up the Reclamation Sage, and he can replay it to destroy anything. Am I like correct in how the Abyss works? It's kind
well,
of
no. I think the opponent chooses the creature, so he chooses and then he bounces it back. Like you correct. Yeah. So the opponent chooses the creature, but then so he targets with the Abyss and then he responds by bouncing it back to his hand.
Yeah. So this looks like it's going to go very poorly for Joe. Julian just cast Glimpse of Nature, which means he's drawing a lot of cards this turn. He casts two
Yeah.
glimpses of nature. And he's
Also,
got that Gaia's Cradle out in order to produce a ton of mana.
and a Visionary too, which is gonna draw him 3 cards.
Yeah, and then he can produce mana off the Heritage Druid, Deathrite Shaman, Visionary, cast the Reclamation Sage.
So I guess if he finds 1 or 2, oh, he found 2 other cradles. I think
yeah, I was about to say
he hasn't played a land this turn either. So
correct. So Julian can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana as of now. And he's got a Shaman in the pack, so he's probably going to untap a Deathrite Shaman, produce black mana, and then Shaman in the pack, and that should be. Oh wait, no, he doesn't have enough elves. But I'm sure he's going to figure out a way to win this game.
Well, he's got 6 elves right now, so yeah, he's got at least 4 more in his hand. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he can also produce almost infinite mana. I remember the first time I played against an Elves deck. This guy cast Glimpse of Nature, and he had the Nettle Sentinel Heritage Druid. And I was like, okay, so he's making a bunch of guys. I was playing Burn, of course. He's making a bunch of guys. I'm just going to untap and Lightning Bolt Fire Blast him, and then that's going to be the game. But no, my opponent cast Emrakul and took another turn and killed me.
That was similar to my first time I ever played against Elves. He played a Fiendhorn Elf. At the time, they didn't print Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah.
And I had the chance to Disperse the Plowshare just play a creature. And I think I played a creature, and then I didn't get a second turn. that was my experience playing against Elves the first time.
Yep. Sometimes Elves is very explosive. Okay, so here's the Shaman of the pack. We'll see how much life it drains. It drains 8 life, and he can probably pick up that. I don't know. Yeah, he can make mana. He might be able to pick up the Shaman of the pack, make another black mana with the Deathrite Shaman, and cast it again.
He's got also the Birch Lord Ranger there too, so he can.
Okay.
So he's gonna Greason's Zenith for 1. What is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just being a good sport and putting up with all the showboating that Julian's doing.
So yes, I'm trying. I'm actually. Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense now. All right. So it's a little more interactive now that Julian found a way to deal with Chalice early enough to make a difference.
Yeah, well, I think the game just gets a lot better for him post sideboard because he has more answers to problematic permanents that Joe can have. I don't know. Like I feel like game 1 was also just kind of a an outlier. Like it's difficult for Joe to go on the offensive, and if that's the case, Julian can just, do what he just did that turn. He's free to set up and have a crazy turn where he drains Joe for all of his life in one turn.
Right. All right. So Joe decided to bring back the Trinity Sphere which I think might be the right play. If you can get a Trinity Sphere early in the game, it actually makes a difference for his Elves. If it's late in the game, not so much, because they can make so much mana. And Julian he's thinking about the Thoughtseize. I don't know if the Greason's in it. Okay, he's bringing back the Greason's in it. All right. I think I like that.
Yeah, Greason's Zenith seems really important when you're fighting against Chalice for 1 or Ensnaring Bridge, because then you can find your Reclamation Sage. Yeah. And you can cast it for, X plus green, so that doesn't get countered by Chalice of the Void on 1.
Correct. Well, let's see what their openers are like. All right, so. Oh, okay. So both of their hands look good.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna have a good game here. I mean, Joe's going to lead off with a Dimir Signet, not going for the Grafdigger's Cage, but I guess there's no rush.
No, yeah, and I think so. Julian's probably gonna get a Bayou here and play a Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, I mean, that's his only play.
He just got a forest.
That's interesting, getting the forest there.
Oh no! Actually, you know what? He knows that Joe is playing Wastelands.
Wasteland, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
that would have been pretty bad if he got Bayou. Someone goes Ancient Tomb Dimir Signet. I'm jamming that Bayou, but clearly,
because
clearly
Joe in
Julian
this
is
case
a
would
little
just
better
go.
than I am.
Yeah, because Joe and then would just like Wasteland and Tree Sphere, and then
Oh yeah, and that's game.
yeah,
Well, I don't know if it's game, but it's pretty much game.
yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. So it looks like Joe's gonna cast the Baleful Strix here, filter the mana off of a Signet.
No,
Oh no,
no,
he just went
it's
Tree
going
Sphere.
cage transfer. That
Okay.
shuts off a lot of. Well, it slows down Julian. I don't know if it shuts off his avenues attack. He does have an abrupt decay, which he can use to get rid of the transfer.
Yeah.
But I think right here, all you want to do is cast Sylvan Library and start getting the cards flowing.
Yeah. Either that, or, well, if he's fetching, well, he didn't fetch into a Bayou this time, so.
Well, he has to fetch in order to cast anything right now. Alright,
Ooh,
goes straight for the abrupt
interesting.
decay on the Demir signal. Wow, this is going to backfire. I think he's hoping to color screw Joe. Joe has a lot of cards that require two different colors. I
This
mean,
is
he
really
hasn't.
interesting, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Judy seems to be like he's got a lot of lands though. He's probably not too worried about the one.
Yeah, I think Julian's fine. If he didn't have a third mana source, that could have potentially been backbreaking, but it's not going to be here. Joe finds another colored source. He's not using his Mox Diamonds, interestingly.
Oh, because you would have to pay 3 mana for the Trinity Sphere.
Oh yeah, you have to pay 3 mana for the Mox Diamonds.
Oh, that's an
Oh
awkward
man,
hand.
this deck construction, what is going on, Joe? Trinisphere, Mox Diamond.
Well, the Mox Diamonds are supposed to help you cast your Trinity Sphere in turn 1, or your Chalice of the Void. But yeah, that you also end up with hands like that when you have triple Mox Diamond, which don't do anything here.
Yep.
Skill game.
So Julian's going to cast 3 mana to play an Elvish Visionary. He has the Gaia's Cradle, but he's not able to produce the 3 mana that he would need to cast a second spell. What is this? Colgan's Command from Joe's side?
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty good here. So just going to attack with Baleful Strix. The fetch land out, that's like a 9-turn clock, maybe 7 turns if you count the K command.
Well, yeah, I mean, Julie's already at 9 life, so. What modes do you think he picks here? I mean, he's definitely deciding what he's going to do with Colgan's Command.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I think you have to destroy a creature. I think you have to take out the Deathrite Shaman. I think that's step 1. Looks like he's also going to have Julian discard a card, which at 6 cards just doesn't do a whole lot. But I guess there's not, like, do you really care about Dimir Signet? I think, you know, I think if I'm Joe, the Dimir Signet is actually relevant because he has an Ancient Tomb as his 3rd mana source. And he's just going to have to keep on tapping that. And then at some point, Julian's going to have enough 1/1s or whatever to just start swinging in and finish him off.
Yeah.
Like, with 6 cards in hand, Julian has... There is going to be a worse card that Julian can have that he's fine getting rid of. You know, all these 1-mana elves, whatever.
Right. So Julian's going to play Deathrite Shaman again. And I'm guessing he's going to fetch at the end of the turn because he's got 2 guys spread on top of his deck. Oh, Joe just drew a Tezzerator. That's a very big draw.
Really good. So he's going to do what he did last game, I think, and make the Baleful Strix a 5/5 and just try to end the game in 2 turns. It might not be 2 turns. It's probably 2 turns. Like Joe can Julian can gain some life, but
oh, he's just gonna make a 5/5.
Interesting.
Oh, he's gonna go in the offense again.
Well, I think he is attacking with it, but maybe he wants to protect Tezzerator as well.
Oh, so he's gonna leave the Baleful Strix behind.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I might have just made the Baleful Strix a creature.
And this one for 5 in the air.
Yeah, you're pretty dead to Green Sun. Not Green Sun Zenith. He has to find the 1 Reclamation Sage or Abrupt Decay.
Well, he can. Oh, okay, yeah. He's got to find the actual Rex Sage, yeah.
Yeah. I guess he has to do that regardless, right? He's only casting 1 or maybe 2 spells this turn.
Right, because of the Trinity Sphere, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I guess Julian's gonna fetch at the end of the turn. He's probably gonna get a. I guess I don't know how many Bayous he's playing, but I'm sure he's playing more than one. So he can fetch for a Bayou here, and then maybe try to find a way to deal with Trinity Sphere.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to deal with both the Transfer and the Grafdigger's Cage. I think step 1 is get rid of the Transfer and then do something to not die to Tezzerator -1 on the Baleful Strix. So there's the Bayou. Here's the 3 cards off of Sylvan Library, and none of them are going to save him. He's just dead to the Baleful Strix.
He is dead, yep.
So he has to represent Abrupt Decay here.
So going back to that play that we saw, the Abrupt Decay on the Signet, I think you were right, because you did say it might, fight him back, because if he had Abrupt Decay, the Trinity Sphere, like these 3 cards on top of his library might have saved him.
Yeah, he might be able to win this turn.
But with the Trinity Sphere in play, I don't think he can do anything here. I mean, Gaia's Cradle is going to generate a certain amount of mana, but it's not enough to...
Yeah, he can't. Mike is pointing out a line of play where Julian can untap his Deathrite Shaman with Wirewood Symbiote and gain 4 life. But that, I mean...
That buys you a turn.
Yeah, it buys you a turn, exactly. You only get to look 1 card deeper with the Sylvan Library since you don't have a shuffle effect. Correct. It looks like he's going to go Heritage Druid. I guess if you go Heritage Druid, then you can cast Wirewood Symbiote for free or something like that. You still have to chump block in this case. I'm not sure. So I mean, I guess it's still a little too early to call, but Joe looks like he's in a pretty good position to take this one.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah, and I think it goes back to that play of replicating the Signet instead of Trinity Sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at first it seemed like a good idea because Joe's deck is a Grixis deck, and he doesn't have any other. No, he only had 2 colorless swords at that time. It was the Tomb in the Wasteland.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand that, like, mana screwing someone, but it's kind of like wastelanding someone when you don't have other lands, like, when you need the Wasteland to cast your spells.
Right.
It's a very speculative play.
Also,
and I think that, well...
No, I was just think that Wasteland, I think Elves is not the deck that's trying to color screw the opponent. Like, it's just not the strategy of the deck, Like,
yeah. Trying to do your Crater Hoof thing.
Correct, yeah. That's not the angle, but... So it looks like Julian is probably just going to gain... Well, he can... No, I don't think that even works. The line that Mike actually... Daniel. Mike, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going to say his last name. Mike pointed out, I don't think it works anymore then, because he can gain 2 life here, but then...
He can untap the Deathrite Shaman to gain more life. Oh, wait.
But he's going to have great mana, though.
With the Cradle tapped, I'm not sure it works. In any case, I don't think he can... Well, I guess he can still represent Abrupt Decay. I'm not entirely sure what's going on right now. I feel like the only possible way to win this game is pretty clear. Especially since Julian knows what's on top of his library, so drawing an extra card or 2 isn't going to do anything.
Right. Well, yeah. There's something like a Glimpse of Nature, and then Mystery Card, I guess. Oh, no, there was a Shaman of the Pack, too.
Well, Julian knows what's on top of his library because of the Sylvan Library, so he knows his top 2 cards. It's the 3rd card down that he doesn't know. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like the mana just went to waste or something. Maybe Julian entered the wrong phase.
Yeah, that could have... Well, he's got stops on his phase today, so Moto usually alerts you that you're going to lose the mana.
Yeah. In any case, he's attacking the Tezzerator with both. Julian decides to trade his Baleful Strix out, so he doesn't get to just win here. Can you see the card in Joe's hand? What is that?
Yeah, he's got a chalice.
Oh
And
yeah, it's a
a couple
chalice. Okay.
mox.
Yeah. So I think the play here is make the transfer a creature, lose the Tezzerator, and just attack with both. Make Julian chump block with both his creatures. Then he's only has 4 mana with a transfer in play.
Something to note: if
Oh no,
if
no, no!
Joe
If
does
transfer is
that,
tapped.
yeah, if Joe does that line and attacks with Trinisphere, Trinisphere is turned off. It uses the old wording as long as Trinisphere is untapped.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
Mike.
if he swings a Trinisphere, then Trinisphere doesn't do anything against turn.
Yeah, Mike is educating me in the Trinisphere. I
Like
forgot
Joe,
about that interaction. I mean, I don't play
looks like
Tezzerator
Joe
deck.
has. It looks like Joe has no regard for that, anyways. He's just gonna probably follow up with a jealous on one.
Yeah, so the cards that Julian would need to come out of this situation are extremely specific. He needs, I mean, basically he needs he needs to find the Reclamation Sage naturally, right?
That wouldn't. Well, yeah, sort of. That kind of helps him, but so now he can play. I don't think there's a way here actually.
Yeah, yeah, he can play Elvish Visionary to draw a card.
And then play the other guy.
Oh, oh yeah, because Transfer is tapped because so he actually has a little more mana, and then he
Correct.
can morph the Virtual Rangers, but that's still just buying him some time.
Yeah, but Joe has a chalice on one though.
Yeah, but you can morph the Virtual Rangers to get around that.
Right. But then he would just make what 2 mana, and then play the. Oh, then he can play the Visionary. That's right. Okay, so he would if he morphs that guy, he would have 3 creatures in play. And he's got a chump block again twice. Yeah, it looks like Julian's just kind of like treading water here and not getting ahead.
Yeah. There's the Windswept Heath. Does that help at all? I don't think so.
No, he just knew that was on top though, so I guess he just played it. Because the next card is a Glimpse of Nature. That.
Yeah. So back to the wording thing. Oh,
Joe didn't draw anything too.
It used to be that artifacts stopped working when they tapped, right?
Correct. Yes.
Artifacts and stack effects, but Grafdigger's Cage doesn't follow that rule, right?
No, that was when Winter Orb was around. Like I remember the rule when I first started playing Magic because we had the Icy Manipulator Winter Orb combo.
Oh, I see.
But then they changed that, and then for some reason, Trinisphere specifically like says on the card that if it's tapped, then it doesn't work.
I see. So apparently Winter Orb also received that errata.
Okay.
Anyway, it's not looking good for Julian here. I don't think he can even mount a defense.
He just drew like more. He just drew more 1-drops.
Oh, you know what? He can play a 1-drop creature. He can play the Wirewood Symbiote.
He can insect with a Cavern and play that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if he casts, no, he's still 1 mana short from going like Wirewood Symbiote, Elvish Visionary, then Rin's Run Packmaster. But he can play the Packmaster to trade with one of those guys, and then
I can't see very well. Is Packmaster 4/4 or 5/5?
It's a 5/5. So you can trade with one of those artifacts, and then he gets to draw an additional card with Elvish Visionary. So I thought Julian was just dead here, but it looks like he's actually able to survive, and honestly, his chances coming from this stage in the game look pretty good.
Yeah. So, like, if he does trade, I guess you trade with Grafdigger's Cage, right?
If the transfer is tapped, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because then it won't do anything on your turn, and Cage actually does something, I guess.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, Joe has to attack with both. If he doesn't attack with both, then Rin's Run Packmaster is just going to keep on making a bunch of 2/2s.
Yeah, we just take over the game.
Yeah, it'll take over the game very quickly. So it's Elvish Visionary and Sylvan Library versus Chalice on 1, and I think that Sylvan Library wins that.
And Joe just kept drawing lands.
Yeah. Joe has not had a good draw step for a while, seeing that he has 4 cards in hand, and they're all pretty much useless. Joe doesn't attack. Wow.
Now, I wonder if Joe now regrets -1. That's right, that 1 turn. If you rather have kept Tezzerator in play. All right,
I don't know. It's a good question. Um,
I mean, it looked like
I
the game was done if he did that.
yeah. I think it was definitely the right line of play. Julian showing that he is capable of getting out of positions that you or me or any other mortal wouldn't be able to get out of.
Playing elves. Yeah,
And Joe is drawing Mox diamonds and lands.
that's true. Yeah, Joe's draws after that turn have been kind of poor because he drew a Mox in the swamp and then now the underground sea.
Yeah, what's the last relevant draw step he had? The
Oh, he
chalice.
drew
Oh,
another Tezzerator.
Tezzerator.
All right, so now, yeah, I think at this point, so obviously Joe's gonna play Tezzerator.
Yeah, I think you have to plus here with Tezzerator.
Right. Yeah, because he might be able to get him with the Drain Life thing. I don't know if that's.
Well, it threatens lethal. The drain life does, and Joe's blocks are reasonable with having the 5/5s.
Right.
So it's going to be difficult for Julian to take down the Tezzeret. I think Julian can make two.
Well, he can fetch for a Dryad Arbor with that Windswept Heat.
No, he can't because of Graph Digger's Cage.
Oh, never mind. You're right.
So just going +1 the Tezzeret. Let's see what he finds here.
And Joe didn't want to take any chances. He just tapped his Colic mana.
Yeah, then he finds a Thopter Foundry. So Julian's going to, I don't know, Julian's kind of getting away with this one. He's going to use the Brenzo and Packmaster to make a wolf. But he's forced to attack the Tezzeret because if he doesn't, he just dies.
Right. But I mean, those guys have Death Touch, so it's not the worst.
Oh, I didn't even realize they had Death Touch. Dang, this card is good.
I know. It's like, you don't need to play Natural Order apparently, just play this guy.
Well, I don't know. It's not... Yeah, okay, I guess it's still pretty good for Julian. He has to attack everything at Tezzeret this turn. If he doesn't, the Tezzeret can survive and
kill him.
Oh, but even if the Tezzeret survives, then it doesn't necessarily have enough loyalty to activate the ultimate.
It's -5, right, for the ultimate, right?
It's -4. You can do it the turn after you play Tezzeret.
Oh, okay. All right, so if he blocks, then... Well, but I wouldn't count on that, though. Because Julian's only 2 life. Oh, he drew a Reasons in it. Well, it still doesn't matter. So I guess... Oh, shoot. He just found a Crater Hoof.
That works, right? He has exactly 8 mana. So the Crater Hoof is going to be able to land and take out Joe.
Okay, now I wish we were watching from Julian's stream when he has a finishing him thing. Like from Mortal Kombat. All right, very impressive.
Wow.
I didn't think he couldn't win this game after.
Yeah, I thought Joe had that in the bag, but Julian's going to win, improving himself to 4-1 in sole possession of first place, at least for now. And Joe's loss brings him down to 3-3 into the coveted mediocrity.
All right. Yeah, pretty impressive match. I didn't like you said. I thought that one turn that Julian just had like one drops in his hand, and Joe passed the turn with a chalice on one. I thought Joe had in the bag too, but yeah, Julian somehow found a way to get around all that and still win the match.
Yeah, okay, so after a short break, we're going to go to round 3, which is Danny Batterman playing Cube, or Planeswalkers, or Oath of Nissa, or whatever you want to call his deck, versus Caleb Durwood's Tin Fins. So we'll see you in a bit. Thanks for watching.